All right, let's dive right in. In this explainer, we're taking a really deep, forensic look at one of the Quran's most powerful chapters, Surah Al-Qadr. Guided by the detailed tafsir of Ayatollah Javadi Amoli, we're going to break down the very mechanics of divine revelation and explore why the Night of Decree isn't just a historical footnote, but a living, breathing, annual reality. So here's our game plan. We're going to walk through this incredible surah verse by verse. We'll kick things off with a very unique way the Qur'an came down, then we'll explore what the Night of Qadr actually is, try to understand its insane value, witness the cosmic event of the angel's descent, feel the absolute peace it brings, and finally connect it all to its ongoing importance for us today. Okay, so let's get started with the very first verse. This is the bedrock of the entire chapter, and it drops a huge concept on us about how the Quran was actually revealed. Indeed, we sent it down during the Night of Decree. Now, the language here is so important. First, you see the plural we, which in this context signifies divine majesty and power. Then you have the pronoun it, the hu in Arabic, and this is critical. It doesn't refer to a piece of the Qur'an or a few verses. It refers to the whole thing, the complete, undivided essence of the Qur'an sent down all at once. Now, this is where it gets really interesting linguistically. The Arabic word for sent it down here is anzalnahu. This comes from the root word inzal. Now, there's another word for revelation you might be more familiar with, tanzil. Tanzil is the gradual step-by-step revelation that happened over 23 years. But inzal, the word used right here, means something totally different. It means a single, unified, instantaneous descent. It's like the entire reality of the Quran was downloaded directly into the heart of the Prophet in one flash of divine light. And this isn't just some modern interpretation. Our source text from Ayatollah Amoli makes this exact point. He really emphasizes that the Quran has these two different ways of being revealed, the gradual, detailed tanzil that everyone knows about, and this complete, profound, all-at-once inzal that happened on this one specific blessed night. So let's move on to the next verse, because after stating this monumental event, the Quran does something fascinating. It asks a question, basically to make us stop and realize the sheer scale of what's being discussed. And what can make you know what is the Night of Decree? This isn't a quiz, right? It's a rhetorical question meant to spark awe. It's the Quran's way of saying, look, whatever you think this night is, it's so much more. Its true reality is actually beyond your full comprehension. It immediately elevates the night to a level of almost unimaginable importance. So what is this night, this Layl? The source explains that we shouldn't think of it as just the time between sunset and sunrise. It's presented more as a metaphysical vessel, a kind of divine container. It's the sacred bubble of time that God created specifically to hold this massive event, the descent of the Qur'an and all the decrees that came with it. And what about Qadr? Well, that's where we get the decree part of the name. The word literally means measure, estimation, or destiny. This is the night when the blueprints for the entire next year are drawn up and finalized. Livelihoods, lifespans, major events, all the affairs of creation are measured out and determined by divine command. It's like the night of divine programming for the year to come. So, now that the surah has established that this night is almost impossibly great, it then gives us a comparison to help our human minds even begin to grasp its value. The Night of Decree is better than 1,000 months. I mean, just let that sink in. One single night is worth more than 1,000 months. That's over 83 years. It's an absolutely mind-blowing statement. Now, here's a crucial point from the exegesis. Don't get too caught up on the number 1,000 as a precise math problem. In classical Arabic, using the number 1,000 was a common way to signify a vast, immense, almost uncountable quantity. It's like us saying tons or a gazillion. So what the verse is really saying is that the value of this one night is infinitely greater than an entire lifetime of ordinary nights. So what makes it so much better? The analysis really boils it down to three core things. First, the sheer amount of divine mercy and blessings that come down on this one night is more than what descends over a lifetime. Second, any act of worship you do on this night is supercharged, carrying more reward than 83 years of worship. And third, and maybe most importantly, it's the night where the destiny for the entire year ahead gets locked in. So we know what descends, the Quran's essence and divine decrees. But the next verse tells us who is doing the delivering, who is carrying out this whole cosmic operation. The angels and the Spirit descend therein by permission of their Lord for every matter. Now, pay very close attention to the verb here, tanazal. This is huge. It's in a verb tense that implies continuous, repeated action. This isn't something that happened once and it was over. This describes an event that happens every single year. Let's put this verse under the microscope. First, who descends? It's the angels. And then, ar-ruh, the spirit, is singled out. Many commentators say this is the greatest of all angels, maybe even Gabriel himself. Second, how do they get the authority? Bi-idhni rabbihim, only with the direct permission and command of their Lord. This isn't some rogue operation. And third, what's their mission? Min kulli amr, for every single matter, carrying down the destinies and decrees for the whole year. So you have this flurry of cosmic activity, angels descending, destinies being delivered. You'd think it might feel chaotic, but the final verse of the surah describes the actual feeling, the very atmosphere of the night, and it's the total opposite. Peace it is until the emergence of dawn. The grammar here is so emphatic. It doesn't just say the night has peace. It says the night is peace. Peace is its very substance, its core identity. And what kind of salam, what kind of peace are we talking about? The source is clear. This isn't just about it being quiet outside. It's an absolute, all-encompassing security. It's safety from divine punishment, safety from evil, safety from the whispers of Satan. The entire night is just saturated with pure, unadulterated goodness, blessing, and divine safety. And the verse gives us a very specific time frame for this state of grace. It lasts hatta matla al-fajr, right up until the first light of dawn breaks the horizon. This divine umbrella of peace covers the whole night, from beginning to end, no gaps. And that brings us to our final section. And honestly, this is where all the pieces come together to form a truly profound theological argument. We've firmly established that the descent of the angels and the decrees is an ongoing annual event. And that leads to a very powerful and unavoidable question. So here's the question that this analysis forces us to confront. The angels and the spirit come down every single year with the divine plan for everything. They have to deliver this package of information and command to someone on earth, right? During the Prophet Muhammad's life, no question, he was the recipient. But the event keeps happening. The delivery is still being made. So who's signing for it now? The source material lays out a very clear line of reasoning. 1. The verb tanazul proves this happens every year. 2. Divine data coming down from the heavens requires a qualified receiver on earth. 3. The prophet, peace be upon him, was the original receiver, which leads to number 4. For this annual event to have any meaning after his death, there must continue to be a perfect human, a divine proof or hujjat, who can act as the host for the angels and receive this information. And the conclusion drawn in this tafsir is that this living authority is the imam of the age. And that is the ultimate takeaway from this deep dive. Surah Al-Qadr transforms from being just a story about a historical night into a living, yearly, cosmic reality. According to this exegesis, the annual recurrence of the Night of Decree is, in itself, a continuous proof for the necessity of ongoing divine guidance on earth, a guidance embodied by the Imam. It's a staggering thought that connects this one sacred night to the entire structure of spiritual authority in the world, right here and now.